Craftsman Days are here at Lowe's with big savings on the tools you need. Right now, get a free select tool when you buy the Craftsman V20 2-pack battery kit. Whether it's the backyard, the bathroom, or beyond, Craftsman has the tools to help you power through and get the project done right. Because DIYing is unpredictable, but your tools shouldn't be. Shop Craftsman at Lowe's today. Valid through 6/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Just go to Indeed.com/PODKATZ13 right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
This is VSiN PrimeTime. Live from the Circus Sportsbook in downtown Las Vegas on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Wild scenario here during the commercial break. One of our producers, Isaiah, said in the back room, "Come on, Aaron Judge, I need a home run." 10 seconds later, Judge launches a shot to left field into the bleachers. Isaiah catches his ticket. Judge homers, plus 150. Yankees get the run back, go up 2-1. Will Hill, did you see the Judge homer?
Turns out he's pretty good. Yeah, this was a hanging changeup, and he drills it to left. Judge is a pretty damn good player. And can you imagine the kind of numbers he'd play if he played at Coors? If he was a Rocky, he played his home games at Coors. My goodness.
They wouldn't pitch to him too often. You'd think he would put up incredible numbers. But I'm more impressed by the called shot by Isaiah, who says, "Come on, Judge, we need a homer," and he hits the homer 10 seconds later. Maybe he knew it was coming. Maybe he was watching a live betting screen. I don't know. But 2-1 Yankees over the Rockies, and we are in the top of the fifth in Denver. And right now the Pacers lead the Knicks 83-81. Will, the Knicks just can't get over the hump in this game. Had a 38-33 lead, and the Pacers went on a big run to tie it. And it's been tight ever since. In fact, the Pacers started to open up a lead in the third quarter. Knicks closed the gap. It feels like we're headed for another fantastic finish at the Garden tonight. 1 minute into the fourth quarter, Pacers up 2. Knicks 1.5-point favorites for the game. If you laid 6 for the game tonight, you're not feeling good about it because the Knicks have not shown an ability to open up a lead and maintain it tonight, and it doesn't feel like that's going to happen. Will, we were talking about how might this game unfold? What's going to develop here? Tight into the fourth quarter, Knicks find a way to pull away and win the game. I'm not sure the Knicks can pull away from anything tonight.
No, and I'm just thinking about all the money I have tied in over 5.5 games. Knicks in 7 plus 400. This is a big 11 minutes and change for those tickets because down 2-0 is not a good scenario for any of those things. So we'll just we'll hope here the Knicks can still win the game. How confident are you? It sounds like your confidence is waning. Mine is definitely waned since the middle of this game.
Confidence level is definitely down with the Knicks. They are tied at 83, but I thought they'd do a little bit more effective job of controlling the game tonight. And I guess maybe you could say Pascal Siakam has prevented that from happening, right? If you wanted to make the argument for the Pacers and say, why have the Knicks not been able to create separation in this game, it's Siakam has been sensational. He's got 32 points. Nobody else for the Pacers is having a huge game. Tyrese Halliburton has 11 right now. Early in the fourth quarter, his points prop tonight was 20.5. So only one guy really going off for the Pacers, but that's been enough so far. Jalen Brunson had 43 points in game one. Brunson's got 26 right now, and Karl Anthony Towns has 20. Towns had 35 in the first game. He's got 20 tonight. Brunson, point prop 29.5, was bet heavily to the over by the public. No surprise because I mentioned that too. Will, I felt like Brunson was a guy you can almost count on to put up big numbers in every game of this series. He's the lead dog for the Knicks. If they're going to win this series, I thought Brunson had to be the guy who's going to be the catalyst, the big scorer, do everything on the offensive end, and he's been that. Tonight he's got 26 points, 9 assists, and only 3 turnovers after 7 in the first game. But here we go. The Pacers back at the free throw line. 3-point play. Pacers up 86-83. Minute and a half into the fourth quarter.
Did you see that play? That's a terrible play by Mitchell Robinson. He loses Turner under the basket, and it's a wide open dunk. And instead of just giving him the dunk, which is bad enough, he just takes a careless swipe, hits the arm, and just gives him another free point at the foul line. He had no chance to stop the shot, block the shot, affect the shot. Just lazy, careless defense turns a dunk and a 2-point play into a 3-point play. Just really sloppy defense.
Yeah, I did see that, and that was, you're right, to call out Mitchell Robinson for that big mistake right there. Knicks down 3. I believe have the ball with 7 seconds on the shot clock. Brunson is out here early in the fourth quarter, so this is that spot where you think the Pacers might be able to create a little separation with Brunson on the bench. Bridges hit a shot, but the Pacers come back and take an 88-85 lead. Now 91-85. Knicks now down 6. If you're watching at home on TV, you're going to be behind what I'm watching on the live betting screen. Pacers have a 6-point lead with 10 minutes to go after another 3-pointer. It's 91-85. And I got to think that the fans, Knicks fans in the Garden, Will, are starting to sweat. All those bettors who laid 6 with the Knicks are not only sweating, they're panicking because I think the Knicks are going to be life and death to win this game at this point. They're not going to cover the 6.
Yeah, and I'll pull up the line here. I would imagine Pacers are favored. They have to be favored at this point.
3.5.
6-point underdogs to start, but yeah.
3.5-point favorites for the game. Pacers after TJ McConnell hits that 3. Pacers are now 3.5-point favorites. The total's up to 224.5 live. How about the money line? Will is now flipped. The favorite is Pacers minus 200.
And the Pacers can smell blood here. And you're just thinking from a big picture standpoint, the finals, no matter what, start on Thursday, June 5th. Thunder up 2-0. That doesn't look like it's going to be a long series. If the Pacers are ever up 2-0 going home, and it looks like it's very possible now, looks like it's likely, not just possible, we could have some short series and a very long layoff here between the conference finals and the NBA finals. We're not there yet. It's only 1-0. Knicks could rally. Knicks could win games in Indy, but it is something that crossed my mind.
You know, it's not wrong that it crossed your mind because if the Pacers go home up 2-0, the Knicks are in a world of trouble.
Yeah.
And OKC already looks like it's going to knock out Minnesota in 4 or 5 games. I would say 5. I think the T-Wolves got a great shot to get Game 3. But how many times in NBA history have the conference finals, each conference final, or both conference finals, ended in a sweep? Can we get the VSiN stats and info department working on that? Do you have any idea, Will? Has that happened where you've had both conference finals ending in a sweep? I can't recall that happening.
Was it one of the Cavs? I remember one, if not 2 of the Cavs Warriors was a really long layoff. I know top of my head, 2015, the Cavs swept the Hawks, and I think the Warriors beat the Rockets in 5. So that's not 2 sweeps, but it's close.
Yeah.
And I want to say in 2017, I know the Warriors swept their way. They almost swept their way through the playoffs. They lost in Game 4 to the Cavs in the finals, but they swept the Western Conference Finals. I think that was the year Kawhi got hurt, and I don't think the Cavs swept that year though. So no, I mean it's interesting. You think it's happened before? It's probably happened once or twice, I would think. But we've had some long layoffs, but I can't think of a scenario where we've had 2 sweeps. Although some of those dominant Laker teams, no. I mean, 2 conference final sweeps is unusual. A conference final sweeps, just in general, is unusual. So having 2 in the same year, it's possible it's never happened before.
I recall times in the past where there's been a week layoff right before the NBA finals start. I don't know if we've had 10 days. It feels like we have had a situation like that. There's been a week to 10 days off before the NBA finals. Anyway, hopefully the Knicks can rally and win a game tonight and tie the series. And we're not talking about the possibility of a Pacers sweep, but right now Indiana up 6 at New York. little under 10 minutes to go, and the favorite has flipped to Pacers -3.5 and -195 at DraftKings. In the hockey game, Edmonton Oilers, huge favorites, going to the third period. 3-0 Edmonton over Dallas. Oilers trying to tie that series at 1, and the money line is now Edmonton -8,500 going to the third period with a 3-goal lead. Quick update on what's happening in baseball. And, Will, I think after Aaron Judge hit that homer to lead off the fifth, the Yankees got nothing else. Rockies at bat, 2-1 Yankees, bottom of the fifth. We got a low-scoring game, pretty good pitching matchup tonight at Coors Field. I think, we bet the Yankees. We got this Knicks-Yankees moneyline parlay that the Knicks are threatening to blow up right now, down 6. You couldn't ask for a much better start from Clark Schmidt tonight at Coors Field, right?
You couldn't. And you mentioned the Oilers. Has there been any word from that Oilers fan that became famous last year during the playoffs? I remember her. I was wondering if you had an update.
I have not seen her.
I wonder if you had an update on that.
I have not seen her yet this postseason. No.
I'll keep an eye on that. There's a live line here.
It's interesting that you remembered that, though.
I did. I have a good memory. I also remember that as 94-85, Nick. So this is, speaking of memory, this might be a memory that I don't want here with some of these tickets we have, is the Pacers start to pull away here. 9-point lead, 5.5-point favorite on the live line, -345 on the money line. We're in some trouble here, Matt.
Yeah, there's no question about that. With a 9-point game. So we had Paul Bovey, professional sports bettor, Knicks superfan, on the show early this week. That's Pascal Siakam with a 3 to put the Pacers up 9, by the way. Siakam is just going wild tonight. 11-2 run by Indiana. So we had Bovey on the show this week, and he said this series is going to be quick, and it's going to be won by the Knicks. And he was basically saying a 5-game series, Knicks in 5. Well, this series might be quick, but it's not going the Knicks' favor if it's going to be quick. Will, you just got to hope that the Knicks can get on the board in this series and get it to a 6th or a 7th game. We got bets on this over 5.5 games.
Yeah.
Knicks in 7. If this series is going to be quick, it's going to be because the Pacers knock out the Knicks quickly. By the way, the Rockies have runners on the corners now with 2 outs. Yankees lead 2-1, bottom of the 5th, and that's it for Clark Schmidt. He gets the hook. The Yankees got a 1-run lead, 2 outs, 2 runners on, and Aaron Boone's going to go to the bullpen, Will.
It's a pretty quick hook, but Yankees have a deep stable of relievers, so we'll see here what the Yankees can do in terms of getting the bullpen, and hopefully we can get a Knicks rally here as they still trail by 9.
The Sharp Plays at sharpplays.com is already there. Before the line moves, don't chase the market, move it. Respected, watched, feared. The Sharp Plays. Check it out now at sharpplays.com.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Memorial Day sale and get 30% off paints and stains May 16th through the 26th. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Click the banner to learn more. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Just go to Indeed.com/PODKATZ13 right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
All right, Will Hill, I've mentioned many times that I don't like Aaron Boone, and I think he makes a lot of bad decisions with handling his pitching staff. Tonight he goes out. Clark Schmidt, 4 2/3 innings into the game. Has got 2 runners on base. He's through 97 pitches. I get it. But Aaron Boone always seems to, remember that movie, All the Right Moves? Aaron Boone seems to make all the wrong moves. And he did it in Game 1 of the World Series. He does it tonight in Colorado. Goes out and makes the call to the bullpen to Tim Hill. And Hill proceeds to almost give up a 3-run homer. The ball hits off the top of the wall, turns into a 2-run double, and the Rockies take a 3-2 lead. Aaron Boone does it again, Will. Rockies lead the Yankees, bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, and I don't want to second guess because I'm not watching, and maybe it was the right move, but your point is spot on. It is King Midas in reverse. Everything he touches, it kind of turns to crap. It's just Joe Torre, for years we watched, have a really good feel, and just every move he made seemed to work out over the course of his tenure. I thought Girardi got run out of town unfairly and way too quickly. He had a lot of success and overachieved more times than not. Boone, been there a long time now, and just doesn't seem to have the feel for the game that the previous managers have. No,
he doesn't. And he definitely doesn't have the right feel for his pitching staff. Costly mistake in Game 1 of the World Series, and tonight the Yankees trailed the worst team in baseball 3-2 after 5 innings in Denver because Aaron Boone goes to the pen, and promptly the reliever he puts in allows a 2-run double. It probably should have been that close to being a 3-run homer. I think about a foot away from being a 3-run homer. So the Yankees are lucky to be down 3-2 instead of 4-2. At Citi Field tonight, the other New York team also trailing. The Mets down to the Dodgers 3-2, top of the 5th. After a long rain delay, that was Clayton Kershaw starting tonight against Griffin Canning. And those pitchers are out of the game, and Dodgers lead 3-2 in the 5th. All right, let's get back to the game of the night. It's 97-92. Knicks are going to get a 3-pointer here to cut it to 5 with about 7 minutes to go. OG Anunoby spots up from the corner, misses. Mitchell Robinson grabs the rebound, and the Knicks are going to get a second shot. It's Jalen Brunson from the wing about 27 feet away, and he knocks it down. 97-92. Knicks just hanging in there. Well, they've needed a couple big shots just to hang in and keep the Pacers from really pulling away here.
I feel like if they can get this tied, they'll be in good shape, but it's just every time they answer, the Pacers respond. They just have been kept at arm's length here for a lot of the fourth quarter. So give the Pacers credit. They just continue to hit big shot after big shot. We'll see if the Knicks can just get it to one possession or tie it and just get over that hump and eventually, hopefully, win this game. I don't feel great about it. Pacers are going to inbound here up 5. We'll keep an eye on it, obviously.
It's down to 3.
Do you have any optimism here?
I do, because I'm watching a live betting screen, and it's down to 3. It's 97-94. So at least the Knicks got it down to a one-position game. They were just down 9, and now they've cut it to 3. So they're back in it. The Pacers were on the brink of really pulling away and blowing this game open. Bridges there with the runner to cut it to 3. And we're at about the 6-minute mark here. And Knicks still hanging around here. Pacers went up 9. I was afraid this game was really going to get away, Will. And it looks like you get a foul. Pacers going to the free throw line here after a poor defensive possession for the Knicks. What was that?
Terrible.
Miles Turner wide open under the basket?
It's the second time in the span of 4 or 5 minutes here where he's just wide open. Whoever's supposed to be guarding him loses him. And then they foul on top of it. He's lucky it wasn't another 3-point play. Just careless, sloppy defense here. You can't have that in this type of situation.
That was ugly defensive breakdown to leave Miles Turner all alone under the rim. And he hits the second of 2 free throws to put the Pacers up 98-94 with a little over 6 minutes to go in the game. All right, checking out some more of what's happening in baseball right now. The Angels, who have won 7 in a row, lead the Marlins 1-0 in the top of the 3rd in Anaheim. And the Phillies, who have won 7 straight, lead the A's 1-0, bottom of the 1st in Sacramento. All right, 98-94. Sorry, I got a technical issue on this end. 98-94, Pacers over the Knicks. Pacers now up 100-94. Pacers 2.5-point favorites live. Money line, Indiana minus 250. So Pacers, Knicks are going to come up empty on this possession you're watching, and then the Pacers are going to score to go up 6. So, man, every time, Will, that the Knicks start to reel them back in, the Pacers start to pull away. Brunson had a jumper from about 15 feet that rimmed out, and the Pacers get a bucket to go up 6.
Yeah, every time I start to feel good about it, that good feeling just doesn't last. It feels like the Pacers are going to win this game. I would love to be wrong, and we would have thought, this time in game 1 that the Knicks were about to be up 1-0. So things can happen. It's the NBA, but impressive here by the Pacers, and this does not look good here for the New York Knickerbockers.
No, it doesn't. And think about this. Pacers going to the Garden, underdogs in the series, and they got a great shot to go up 2-0 in this series. Right now, Mitchell Robinson should have had a dunk and an and-one opportunity. Nembhard fouls him from behind. He doesn't get the dunk. That was kind of a weak attempt by Mitchell Robinson. Should have had the dunk. Too slow to go up with it. Watch this. Come on. You got to put that down, big man. He gets fouled, and he's going to go to the free throw line where it's going to be hard-earned 2. Would be lucky if he hits one of the 2, being the poor free throw shooter that Mitchell Robinson is. So actually a good foul by Nembhard there, not to let Robinson get the dunk. Pacers lead by 6, 5:24 to go in the game. That just feels like it's a possession or 2 away from this really slipping away from the Knicks. They're barely holding on here, Will.
Yeah, but by the same token, a possession or 2 from the Knicks being right back in it. But as this first attempt was just awful. What an awful stroke he has. Just a line drive bullet. He fires at the rim, not even close as it rims out. So you got to get a few stops here for the Knicks. Obviously, coming back, rely on both sides of the ball and you need to score, but you need to just string together 2 or 3, maybe 4 stops in a row to give your offense a chance to get back in this game. But the way the Pacers are shooting, the way the Knicks are defending or not defending, it's going to be hard to do.
100-95 with 4:44 to go. And again, Pacers now 3.5 points, 197. So Knicks pull within 3 with 4:37 on the clock. So still a 1-possession game. Pacers 2.5 point favorites live, minus 195 on the money line. And that's where we stand at the Garden. Oh, boy. Pacers drove a 3 to go up 6. How about that? Just when you think the Knicks got a chance to tie this game again, Pacers drove a 3 and go up 103-97. All right, the NBA playoffs are heating up. We're getting closer to the NBA Finals. It's going to be early June. It looks like it's going to be OKC and Indiana if the trends continue. But the playoffs are heating up, and our partner ProfitX is offering the best odds all playoffs long. ProfitX is a peer-to-peer sports exchange available in 40-plus states. You can make your sports picks against other groups of fans rather than against sports books. Exchanges guarantee you the best odds on average by 10 to 20%. You can even request your own odds. Download ProfitX today with code VSiN and earn up to $200 in profit cash over your first month. 103-98, the Pacers lead the Knicks, and we got 4 minutes to go. Will, it sounds like despair is setting in on your end, that it's almost gotten to the point where you feel like it's going to take a miracle for the Knicks to pull this out.
Feels very unlikely at the moment. But again, it's 6. It's the NBA. Looks like we're going to the free throw line here at the Knicks. So, again, you just need 2, 3, 4 stops in a row. Easier said than done, but it's got to start on defense. You got to give your offense a chance to catch up. You're not at the point of the game where you can just trade baskets. You got to figure out a way to get some stops, some misses, some rebounds, keep them off the free throw line, and then you'll have a shot here.
All right, 103-99, Pacers lead the Knicks. And, oh, boy, as soon as I say that, the Pacers hit a 3, 106-99. Well, I think the Pacers are going to win tonight. Let's put it that way. We got 3:41 to go. Pacers up 7. They hit another 3 when the Knicks are trying to inch a little bit closer. Knicks just not good enough on the defensive end. Pacers are getting too many open looks from 3. And this Indiana team's pretty efficient offensively. You give them too many open looks from 3, they're going to knock them down. And right now I got to think it's widespread panic at the Garden with the Knicks down 7 and just over 3 minutes to go. Not looking good, Will.
Knicks better win some road games. Knicks better and look, they played well on the road in Boston. They won road games there, and that was a big 3 by Halliburton to make it a 7-point game. They won games in Detroit. They've been road warriors in these playoffs. they're going to have to be road warriors, or this is going to be the last game of the season at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, here's the next Knicks possession, by the way, after Tyrese Halliburton knocks down a three. I really don't like this play by Jalen Brunson. He fakes his defender into the air, shot fakes him into the air. Brunson then passes to Mitchell Robinson, who is running, making a run to the rim. That's the last guy you want to pass to on a run to the rim, because if he gets fouled, he's not going to make the free throws. Robinson throws up a wild shot, misses. Pacers go down and score again. 107-99, Indiana up 8 with 3:23 to go in the fourth quarter. All right, I believe we're back here. Indiana 110, Knicks 107. Will Hill, it looked like it was over just a moment ago. 110-100. Pacers had the lead, 7 straight points from the Knicks. We got just over a minute to go. Could we get the roles reversed tonight where the Pacers choke late? At least you got a little bit of hope with the Knicks here with a minute to go, down 3.
Hope is the worst thing, I've been told. So we'll see. I'm still not confident. But an impressive comeback here, an impressive rally by the Knicks, who just won't go away. But let's talk a little baseball here. Chris Gimenez joins us here. Chris, thanks for coming on. Will Hill, Matt Youmans. I guess we'll start here. Big picture thoughts. American League, just not as strong as the National League. Yankees, Tigers, whoever comes out of the AL West. What do you make of this imbalance between the American and National League? And who do you ultimately like here in the American League to eventually represent them in the World Series?
Yeah, I mean, that's actually a great call. I think it's safe to say that the American League is behind the National League this year. And that's the first time in quite some time, at least some time that I can remember, that the American League hasn't been thought of as maybe the superior league. I know the National League's had the Dodgers in it the last few years, who have been very, very good, among other teams as well. But this is that first year that I just feel like the American League's down. You know, we used to refer to, when we played, as the National League was the JV league. And now that each league has the designated hitter, it's kind of evened things up. But I think if you're looking for a team to come out, it's hard to take, anybody but the Yankees, or at least the Detroit Tigers right now. They look like they have the 2 most solid pitching staffs. And I think there's a little more maybe in the tank from the offense of the Detroit Tigers if they can continue to find a way to hit. I know they've lost 2 of the last 2 to the Cleveland Guardians, which has been a little bit of a setback there. But I think between the Yankees, between the Tigers, you're probably going to see one of those 2 teams, if not somebody else, sneak out of this American League. All
right, Chris Gimenez with us, MLB Network, MLB Sirius XM Radio. And Chris, you've been doing some great baseball spots with us this season. But I think we're praising the Yankees a little bit too much. Right now, they're down 3-2.
I think so too. You're right.
I don't know. Are you watching this game tonight? Aaron Boone goes to the bullpen. It backfires right away, and the Rockies, the worst team in baseball, lead the Yankees 3-2 in the top of the 6th.
Baseball's funny, isn't it? That you could have the Yankees losing to a team that's on a historical pace for losses this year, after we just set that with the opposing team, the Chicago White Sox, last year. It's crazy to think that this is the way it goes, but I think that's part of the reason baseball is a beautiful game, right? Is any team can win on any given day, even the big bad Yankees, which I agree with you. I think we're giving them a little too much credit. I need to see them do it offensively, at least from a consistency standpoint, for a little bit longer. But I love their pitching staff. Max Fried, to me, is the perfect guy to lead this rotation without Garrett Cole. And Carlos Rodon's had a pretty darn good season as well. And they've gotten some other, quality starts from, Schmidt and other guys in that rotation. So I hope the Rockies win. Trust me, I would love it, because I'm pretty sure that makes some people a lot of money if the Rockies win any day.
I know the bookmakers would be happy with that if the Rockies up in the Yankees tonight. Yankees are about $3 favorites, close minus 280 here at Circa. Quick update on the basketball game, 110-109. I believe that
nice.
was that Josh Hart that got the layup there? We have a foul on the Knicks on the inbounds pass, I believe, and the Pacers probably going to the free throw line. Foul on Jalen Brunson, 15 seconds to go. Pacers up 110-109. Pacers just had a 110-100 lead. That Josh Hart layup brought it to 1, but now looks like, that was definitely a foul on Brunson. Pacers going to the line with 15 seconds left. Pacers now 2.5-point favorites. Money line is Indiana minus 410. That's a DraftKings 1-point game. It looks like Aaron Neesmith, who went 8 for 9 from 3, is going to be at the free throw line here after a quick break. Chris, have you been watching the Pacers-Knicks game tonight? Have you been glued to baseball the entire night?
No, I've been kind of going back and forth. It's easy to do that when there's some really good games on, and obviously you got the finals, Eastern Conference, Western Conference. Have been some very, very good matchups. I guess my question to you guys is, if the Pacers go up 2-0 against the Knicks, do we really give the Knicks any hope in this? Can they come back from something like that?
I wasn't sure if they could come back with what happened Wednesday night. You know, when they choked a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter, a 9-point lead in the final minute. If the Pacers take the first 2 games here on the road, I'm going to say no. I don't think there's
me too.
Maybe a little bit of hope just because you need 4 to win a series, but I'm going to say not much hope at all on behalf of the Knicks if they drop this game tonight. And guess what? Neesmith makes both free throws. What else would you expect from a guy who's been red hot shooting in this series? 112-109. There's 4 seconds to go. Knicks down 3. Chris, talked about the Yankees opening the series in Colorado tonight against the Rockies. The Dodgers and the Mets have been in a rain delay in New York. They've resumed play. Clayton Kershaw went against Griffin Canning, both starting pitchers, out of that game early. Pacers are going to hold on and win this game. Knicks miss a 3 and foul. Indiana's going to go up 2-0 in the series. What else are you watching closely in baseball here on a Friday night?
Well, I've been glued into that Dodgers-Mets series. I think that's a great series. Truthfully, we could be looking at, another National League Championship Series type matchup here in mid-May, which is great for both of those teams. I've also been kind of glued into the Astros and Mariners. The Mariners got George Kirby back yesterday. It did not go according to plan. This is one of the best strike throwers, most elite strike throwers in Major League Baseball. Had 191 innings last year and just 23 walks to 179 punch-outs. That's pretty darn good numbers right there. Their offense has been on fire this season, which is not something we have seen out of this organization. This might be the year finally that they don't have to be perfect when they pitch. When these guys go out there, these starters, this bullpen goes out and throws the baseball to win a baseball game. The offense has picked things up. And of course, it's always a big series against the Houston Astros in Houston. Game 1 didn't go their way. Game 2 doesn't look like it's going their way either so far. But those 2 games in particular, and then I just got done watching the Cleveland Guardians and Detroit Tigers. That also has been a really big matchup that I think is going to go a long way in that American League Central.
Chris, Paul Skeens leaves with a lead. The Pirates end up losing. It's starting to feel like a pitching version of Mike Trout, just wasting the prime years of his career on a bad team. If I put you in charge of the Pirates, would you entertain offers? The Red Sox have a bunch of prospects. Could you make an offer for 3, 4, 5 really good prospects and just completely reset if you're the Pirates? Or is that something you wouldn't think about?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I think there are probably a few teams out there that are very intrigued that, this sort of rhetoric is even out in the public right now, to be completely honest with you. Because if I'm the Pittsburgh Pirates, there is no chance in hell that you could bring all of King Midas's silver, and I still wouldn't trade it for Paul Skeens. But the right thing to do is at least listen. You never know. Some team may go out there and absolutely blow you away, which I think would absolutely have to happen. It would have to be such an overpay that we would probably be talking about this for years and years to come as the worst trade in the history of baseball, for the team that ended up trading for Paul Skeens, because you would have to give away so much talent to acquire a service of a young man that has so much team control left. I think what the Pirates would be smart to try to do, and again, Bob Nutting has never really shown the willingness to go above and beyond to keep some of his own guys. But if you ask me, you need to build around a guy like Paul Skeens, give him $180 to $220 million right now. You bake in the fact that he's going to get better continually. And you might even get a little bit of a deal on that. If you're paying him $220 million over the next 7 or 8 years, it might end up being a bargain, so to speak. But ultimately, I think those rumors will be out there because it is the Pirates. They would be absolutely crazy, and somebody would probably get thrown in jail if they decided to actually trade Paul Skeens. But I think it's a lot of fun to talk about, and boy, it would be tantalizing for a few organizations in particular to want to at least kick the tires on something like that.
Chris, last minute or so, how many games do you think the Rockies win, and what's the worst team you ever played on? We always talk about this. We hear this idea, players give up, the players get frustrated. Does that really happen when you're on a really bad team?
You know what? I was extremely young. I was a rookie on the worst team that I ever played for, and it was my 2009 Cleveland Indians teams. We lost, I believe we lost 97 games. And I think I had the approach of, I knew I was going to be back the following year, and I had a lot to prove. So every time I went out there, it was my best effort no matter when I stepped on the field, but it had a little bit extra to go along with it, just because you wanted to prove to this front office and maybe anybody out there watching that could potentially be your new, manager on that coaching staff, that you were worthy of continuing to be a part of this organization. But I completely understand your sentiment, and I think it's easy to see why guys would give up. I have to be honest, I've never been on a team that was 8-44 at some point, or 43, I think, right now through 50 games. 8-42, I think. But if they lose tonight, it'll be 43. It could be very, very hard to continue to stay motivated. The only thing they have going for them is this is an extremely young team, and I hope that these guys are kind of taking that same thought process of next year is not guaranteed in any way, shape, or form. You need to go out there and continue to prove yourself. Win or lose, you have to show your best on the field every day.
And the Rockies are doing that tonight as they lead the Yankees in the 7th.
If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Just go to Indeed.com/PODKATZ13 right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
This is VSiN PrimeTime on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
All right, we head to the 8th inning. Yankees trailing the worst team in baseball 3-2. Rockies have the lead after Aaron Boone went to the bullpen, and it ended up with a 2-run double. The result was a 2-run double in favor of the Rockies, who have the lead. So that's one New York team that might get upset tonight. The New York Knicks did get upset, and the New York parlay is dead, Will Hill. Pacers 114-109. Pacers 6-point underdogs. Total 224.5. It barely stays under the total. Jeff Sherman at the Westgate Superbook joined us right before tip tonight and said some sharp money showed up on Pacers +6 and under 224. That was why we were speaking with Jeff right before tip-off. Will, the game lands on 223, so it stays under, and the Pacers win by 5. Knicks down 2-0. Great question there by Chris Gimenez when we were talking baseball. No hope, or is there a little hope with the Knicks down 2 games headed to Indianapolis?
A little hope because you look at the game 3 line. Pacers only favored by 1.5, 2 points. So 2-point underdogs win all the time. Look, we just saw a 4.5 and a 6-point underdog win. So, getting a split, that's interesting. Would you sign for a split right now if you're the Knicks? If I could tell you, hey, you're not getting 2, but you're not getting 0. You're getting 1 out of the 2, and then you're coming back home down 3-1. You get 5 at home, you get 7 at home. Not that home court advantage is meant much here. Would you sign for that? I don't know. It's a tough spot, but the Knicks are capable of winning 1 on the road. Are they capable of winning both? It seems like a lot, but you know what? They've been good on the road this postseason. They won 2 games in Boston. They won all 3 games in Detroit. So there's some hope, I would say. Do you want to take a stab at what the updated series price is?
I would say the Pacers got to be somewhere around minus 700.
Yeah, I'm looking at DraftKings,
at
minus
least
$500
$5
on the Pacers.
What's that?
Yeah, minus 500.
Pacers up 2 games, 1.5, 2-point favorites. Yeah, I guess minus 500, at least minus 500 in the series. I would say you can't say no hope. I wouldn't say you have a lot of hope. So I'd say not much hope with the Knicks here. Down 2 games going to Indiana. And you're right. You can't say that the Knicks realistically are going to go to Indiana and sweep 2. So I think they would have to sign up for a split just to give themselves a chance to get back home in Game 5 and win that to pull within 3-2 in the series. And who knows what can happen at that point. But, man, I can't believe the Pacers went to the Garden and just won the first 2 games. 4.5-point underdogs, 6-point underdogs. Miraculous comeback in Game 1, and tonight pulled away in the fourth quarter to put away New York. How about Pascal Siakam tonight? 39 points, 15 of 23 from the field, made 3 3-pointers. The Pacers actually outshot the Knicks from 3. Indiana 13 for 30 from 3, 43%, and the Knicks 11 for 32, 34%. Knicks played a better game in general tonight up until I think some defensive breakdowns in the second half. Will, the Knicks allowed the Pacers to score 65 points in the second half tonight.
And had their chances. Brunson had a 3 at the end, was way long on it. You know, they couldn't make the stops when they needed to. They couldn't hit the big shot. I mean, they rallied. They just couldn't get even. Once Indiana opened up, what was it, 94-85, a 9-point lead. Knicks kept crawling back. It would get to 2 or 3, then back up to 6 or 7. The Knicks just fall short. Imagine if I had told you on Wednesday night when the Knicks are up 17 with like 5 minutes to go that, you know what, I'm going to tell you something right now. I came from the future and said the Knicks are down 0-2, headed back to Indy. I mean, you would have bet every dollar. You would have lost every dollar. You said there's no chance that happened. So we know how Game 1 unfolded, and then Game 2, the Knicks just didn't feel like the better team. I mean, the Pacers, I would say, led for most of the game, led 19-9. Knicks pulled ahead, but Knicks never had a big lead. Knicks couldn't pull away. And you give a team a reason to fight. The Pacers, maybe if they got down big, would have said, all right, we got our split on the road. We'll see you for Game 3. But this team is relentless, and they have a lot of heart, a lot of competitiveness, and they are now 2 wins away from an NBA Finals appearance. I think first time since, 2000 when they played the Lakers. I think lost in 6. They have not been back since. So going to be the first time in a while for all of these teams getting to the finals, winning the finals. Whoever wins it, it's been a long drought for any of these teams. So right now, if I gave you a redo on the prediction in terms of the series, what are you thinking? I have a hard time seeing the Knicks getting swept here, but look, I didn't think the Knicks would be going to Indy down 2-0 either. I admit that.
Well, at this point, I'm hoping the Pacers win in 6, right? Because we got over 5.5 games. I'm not sure the Knicks can get it to 6. But let's stick with that. Pacers in 6. And hopefully that's the outcome. Tyrese Halliburton, the hero in Game 1, only 14 points tonight, but did have 11 assists and played a solid all-around game. Shot 3 for 10 from 3. Only had 1 turnover, though, in 35 minutes. Jalen Brunson, again, carried that Knicks offense with 36 points and 11 assists. Only 3 turnovers tonight for Brunson, but not enough. Knicks just not deep enough, not good enough on the defensive end. Pacers really efficient offensively. They spread the floor with shooters. And they've really dissected this Knicks defense in the first 2 games to make Tibbs look bad. Tom Thibodeau's defense has looked bad here in the first couple games. Pacers up 2-0, minus 500 favorites. 1-5 favorites to win these series now, up 2-0 headed home. And we are headed to Minneapolis for Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals on Saturday night. So let's talk about best bets. Introducing the $500 trifecta from GBank, First Bet, and VSiN. All you need to do is open a GBank Visa Signature credit card. In the first 90 days, deposit and play through $1,000 at First Bet to trigger the $500 trifecta. You receive $200 in cashback rewards on your GBank Visa Signature credit card First bet will give you a $100 deposit match. VSiN completes the trifecta with a free VSiN Pro subscription through August 31st, a $200 value. That's the $500 try from GBank, First Bet, and VSiN. Head to vsin.com/GBank, vsin.com/GBank. It's a one-time promotion limited to customers opening a new account in response to this offer and will not apply to requests to convert existing accounts. So apply today. Terms and conditions apply. We talk about our best bets when we talk GBank at the end of the show. And, Will, let's go ahead and tee it up for Saturday night. Hopefully the underdog is barking. You got a little bit better number than I did last night. Down 2-0, desperation spot in the series. T-Wolves going home. We both made this number different than what it opened. So I had to take the 3.5. That was the number I got last night. You took 4. So you got +4 with the T-Wolves, and I got 3.5. What do you like it? Do you like it as much as you did last night?
Yeah, and I don't want to give out a number that doesn't exist, but we had a little post-show conversation where I was like, man, I can't believe it's 4. And you said it best. You said, hey, you got to take the 4. That number is probably not going to be there. So that was one where it was just a discrepancy in terms of what I expected. I'll give a number that currently exists. I'll go over the total, over 218. Minnesota, 11 of 39 from 3 in game 2, 15 of 51 from 3 in game 1. I think these 3-point shooters for Minnesota will shoot it better at home. The role players, the Naz Reids, the DiVincenzo's. So I think the threes will drop more in Minnesota. And even Oklahoma City, 9 of 33 from 3 in game 2. So I think there's meat on the bone for both teams to shoot the 3-pointer better in game 3. And we still got 221 points in game 2 when it went over the total. So over 218 is a play for me in game 3.
All right, we got a final in Dallas, too. Oilers tie the series. They win 3-0 tonight, and Edmonton's going to go back home 1-1 in that Western Conference final with the Dallas Stars. So good win tonight for Edmonton after blowing a 3-1 lead going to the third period in Game 1 of the series. Well, the New York parlay we talked about to open the show tonight, both legs of it, probably going to lose. The Yankees down 3-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Again, I hate it when Aaron Boone goes to the bullpen. This guy's got the knack for making all the wrong moves. He did it tonight. He pulled Clark Schmidt. What happens? Next batter hits a 2-run double off the top of the wall, about a foot away from being a 3-run homer. That's the difference right now. Aaron Judge hit a homer to give the Yankees a 2-1 lead. Yankees bullpen coughed it up. Rockies going to lead 3-2 here going to the 9th. Will the Yankees lose to the worst team in baseball, Will?
Plus 240 looks pretty good. I know they're down a run, and this has not been our best night with the New York parlay. Plus 240, only down a run in a place that's easy to score runs. I wouldn't mind taking a shot at the plus 240 there.
Well, I would say if you bet a square ball parlay like that, you kind of deserve to lose. That's what we took tonight. 2 big favorites with the Yankees and the Knicks. At least we parlayed them and lost 1 bet instead of 2. Didn't want to lay those big prices. Stay tuned to VSiN after prime time. The Sports Gambling Podcast with Sean Green and Ryan Kramer, 11 p.m. Eastern. Start your day tomorrow with VSiN Weekend Morning Line at 10 a.m. Eastern. I believe that's Tim Murray hosting that show Saturday morning. And then that's followed by Ready, Set, Bet at 1 p.m. That's going to do it for Will Hill and myself here on Primetime. Thanks to Jeff Sherman, Chuck Esposito, Aaron Moore, and Chris Gimenez tonight. And Will Hill, best of luck this weekend. Have a winning weekend, hopefully better than we had on Friday night.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Just go to Indeed.com/PODKATZ13 right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.